10 draft picks. Will any of them make a difference this year?
Okay. This is interesting because the draft is such a big, the draft,
Yeah.
Lynch himself asked if he had any real needs. He said, not really, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They feel that this team is set.
Yeah.
They might need a little massaging, but this team is the best roster in the league.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that no player they take in the upcoming draft will make a significant contribution to the team in the upcoming season. I firmly believe that. What about you?
I'm inclined to believe that too. And I think they're not even looking for someone to make an impact. That's probably why. And it's because the way they look at their roster is because we are so good that no rookie could possibly walk onto this practice field and take a job from a veteran. It could never happen on this team. So don't even try. Just get it. Like, look at the salary cap table for 2025 and figure out who may not be here and draft with 2025 in mind. Which is really no way to get over the hump in the short term and win the Super Bowl.
Oh, Iggy, this team isn't going to win the Super Bowl.
No, really, that kind of thinking is how a team that won the Super Bowl might work, might operate, but it's not the Niners.
Could I just say something about why this team isn't going to win the Super Bowl? I'm sorry. I know you're all 49er fans and Lowell's a jerk and all this. Here's why they're not going to win the Super Bowl. This team is loaded. This team is really good. This team has the best roster in the league, and it did last season too. But here's what happened. They got in the Super Bowl, and their coach, who's really not as good as people say, blew it yet again. And why did he blow it? He blew it because in the second half, when he had a lead, he should have been thinking, as any really top-level coach would think, how do I close out this game? What do I do? I'm ahead. It's like in boxing. How do I put this guy away in the 6th round? How do I put him away? Ray Leonard would have put him away. Thomas Hearns would have put him away. This guy, Kyle Shanahan, doesn't know how to put him away. So instead of thinking, gee, how do I end this game? How do I close it out? He's thinking, what's a cool play to run here? As a result, he calls all kind of passes that are incomplete. He doesn't take control of the clock. If he had run the ball, you can, between every play, you can get a lot of 50 seconds off, something like that. He wasn't thinking that way. So here's how it filters down into the locker room. Kittle says to Bosa, now again, I'm making this up. Hey, we had the best roster in the league, and this guy couldn't get us across the finish line. This guy doesn't know how to get us across the finish line twice. I'm feeling I don't have that much confidence in him. We're going to go through another whole season with the best roster in the league. We're going to get to the Super Bowl, and this guy's going to blow it. All those times I did weightlifting, all those games I played hurt. And it'll come down to this guy blowing it again. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. And there's going to be a subtext on this team. The coach is holding us back. That's why they're not going to win the Super Bowl, Iggy.
I completely agree. Well put. And it's like they could go 17-0 in the regular season next year. They could make it all the way back to the Super Bowl. As soon as they're in that game, they can't feel confident. I don't care what kind of a season they have. As soon as they're in that game and it's the second half and they're winning again, they all know what's going to happen. I mean, Kyle's done it 3 different times.
So, I mean, we're supposed to be talking about the draft, and we are, and we're saying probably no player that they draft is going to make a big impact in the upcoming season. But the real story is it doesn't matter anyway. They have a great roster. They know they have a great roster. They have the wrong coach for the great roster.
No question. And again, they have the wrong idea. They didn't win anything. They need to improve their team right now. And they needed that last year. And last year they spent their first draft pick. They traded up for a safety who looks promising, but a safety, they didn't need a starting safety. He sat the first half of the season and only played because Talanoa Hufanga tore his ACL. So they traded up for a guy they intended to sit for a year. Then their next pick was a kicker Then their next pick was a blocking tight end who didn't make the team, who spent the year on IR. So, I mean, it doesn't get much more arrogant than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, when they say they don't have needs, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah. They should trade down. They should get more picks. They should absolutely trade down from that number 31.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, again, I think what they should be looking for is an offensive lineman. They should be looking for a real backup quarterback. I think that would be good. I don't think they need another running back.
No. You know how they get an impact player in this draft?
How?
Trade Ayuk for a top 20 pick, which is sort of the going rate for these wide receivers who are about to get credible extensions, and draft an offensive lineman, someone who's way better than what you got on your line right now, and someone who might be able to play left tackle in the future when Trent Williams retires. That would be a way to get an impact player and to really improve the team, because even without Brandon Ayuk, you have a great group of weapons, but your offensive line is not good. That'll be one way to do it.